the Only Leeds Bros show.
Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Only Leeds Bros. I've just got a FaceTime call from Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds, live inside Ellen Road. See if you can hear him.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Pass.
His voice is gone. Love that. Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Only Leeds Bros. As you can tell, a very, very jubilant Only Leeds Bros. We're joined by our third brother as well, Jam. We had to take a couple of minutes to contain ourselves after that match, lads. Just, I don't know about you, lads, but yeah, that brought me to tears, lads. Unbelievable. I'm going to pass straight over to the boys, Dylan, Jam. I just try and put it into words, lads. This team, I'm running out of words to describe them.
Soak it all in, lads, because we got to enjoy these moments. This is what being a fan is all about, because it's going to be difficult at some points next season. So literally, I'm just living in the moment. I'm just sat there peering at this team, looking at it and thinking, oof, like all over the pitch, lads. We completely bossed them tonight. There was no sort of. I do feel from a little bit Bristol City, because they got to obviously clinch playoffs now, but I think that could really like dent their confidence. Like, it was a bit of a boys against men session, to be honest. I thought it was really sort of controlled, and we'll talk about the goals, but I do want to just highlight that Joel Piero goal pass to Nonto. If that was Kevin De Bruyne, I'm telling you, that'd be all over the news.
Yeah,
they'd all be like, but honestly, Piero. And I keep saying it, but I think I'm gonna have to name my unborn son Joel Piero. I am. I have to do it. He's up there now a DJ. He's gonna have to, compete.
He's unreal. And Jam, I was obviously voice noting you through the whole match, everything that was happening. And obviously when Piero played that pass, the voice note I sent to you was like, how did he not get in the team of the year ahead of Josh Sargent? Just absolutely blows my mind. I
think that's an absolute joke. Sorry, Daz, to cut in.
No, come on, take it.
I think that was an absolute disgrace, to be honest. Josh, I know he's scored goals, but he's been injured most of the season, hasn't he? Josh Sargent as well.
He's been injured most of the season, yeah.
It's just a bit of a thing. Gus Hamer, player of the season. Anyway, that's a different conversation. But I mean, Gus Hamer, player of the year. Don't think so. But it don't matter anyway, because we'll just win the league instead.
That's it. Let them have their player of the years and their manager of the years and their team of the season and all that, because we'll just take the trophy. Dylan, we'll come across to you. Just one thing I want to say before you get into anything. You owe all of us a do.
It was coming, to be fair. I actually thought you were going to jump across and say something else there. But it was coming, so yeah, lads.
Go.
Ready?
Do. We're going up as champions. Do. Jams our Hampton Devil. Do. Fark is getting us up. Do. Lads.
Fark is getting me up if he continues playing football like that, lads.
Do you know what's mad? I was sitting downstairs and I'm having a little cry to myself, and the missus says to me, I text the missus saying, are you coming down to watch this? The last time that I watched that, when with Bielsa, obviously COVID, etc., I was dying sick in her bedroom in her mother's house, watching it on my old iPhone, and she has a photo of me, and I'm like tears streaming from my face. And now I'm in my own house, watching it on the telly, talking to you lovely gents now. So lads, I am ecstatic. I can't get over it. I really can't. Leeds are back, and as Sean Healy just said there, we are Premier League. And my God, what a way to do it. One more game to go. So let's get the trophy. It's so surreal, lads. I can't believe it. Do you know what? I'm jealous of every single fan in Ellen Road tonight. Yeah, and if you're not, you're sitting there watching us and you're not, there's something wrong. I am livid, like honest to God. Excited, but livid as well at the same time. Imagine being there. Yeah, exactly.
Go on.
Did you see him coming out with the scarf on his head?
Yeah,
he was tired mad. I was like, oh my God. Well, lads, yeah, look, the performance itself. Wow. I think they got it right with Solomon being man of the match. I thought he was absolutely unbelievable. Lads, for me though, Firpo and Bogle, my God, two fullbacks and just even the commentators were saying it, just constantly looking to link up to score goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, fullbacks to do that. I just think it was phenomenal.
Brilliant,
Tanaka,
Dylan Marty. Both of them, 100%
unbelievable as well.
sensational, yeah.
Takruev moved the ball very well. Lads, I think I came to the realisation, I don't think Ampadu can play anywhere else per centre half. I think Ampadu is the
Give us a
man.
backflip, Dylan, will you?
Go on, Dylan.
You had the tweak in the neck there.
It was that quick. I literally couldn't see it.
I know, yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Oh, Ramazani, everything you know. Oh, Ramazani, everything you know as well.
Absolutely everything. Even how he braided his hair, I taught him that as well.
Yeah, just unbelievable, lads, as you can tell in the chat, and like you was all at home. It's just, pure joyful moment. I suppose it's a season of pure emotions coming out now, Jam, isn't it? After, well, I suppose it's 2 seasons. If you look at everything last season, the worry that we had at the start of last season, the disarray that Leeds were in, all the players going out on loan, we didn't really know what was going to happen. We got it together, playoff heartache and a couple of ups and downs through the season, but this is what you love football for, isn't it? Moments like this, you just, like what you said, you just drink them in and enjoy it, don't you?
I've said it a few times before, if you could literally just bottle that feeling and sell it, you would be a millionaire. Honestly, you would literally be like
I would, eh? My emotions just got through the roof.
But Dylan, this is what it's about. This is what it's about, isn't it? You got to enjoy it because this football. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said like 95% of being a football fan is terrible, really. Isn't it? You get your little nuggets of little joy that. But honestly, lads, this season I'm usually a nervous wreck watching Leeds, but it's got to the point now where I'm just sat back, honestly, and just enjoying what I'm watching. I don't have any work. I don't have any concerns. I know we're going to eventually break through. So it's weird having that sort of mentality when it comes to Leeds, but you got to give credit.
I'm so nervous for next season, lads, of how my emotions are, because based on this season, we had to do it financially for the club as well. Like players, the fans, everything was on the line this season. So at least the pressure's off in that sense. But obviously we've something to prove now going into the Premier League. And to be quite honest with you, I'm actually nervous doing Only Leeds Pros next season, because I can see myself falling out with a lot of people. And I'm talking about like a lot of friends of mine that are certain fans of certain clubs that are in the Premier League. And yeah, we're in the Premier League, and I'm going to boast about Leeds United.
Yeah, so it's gonna be class. It's gonna be class, lads. One person I think for me deserves all the praise tonight and deserves every single one of his flowers, and that's the manager, lads, Daniel Farke, because he's been the topic of conversation all through the season, through all the fan base. He's divided the fan base. Half of the fan base wanted him out. Half of the fan base was on the fence with it, and then there was a couple of the fans then that wanted to stick here. But Jam, I'll come across to you. Like, can he even describe the job that he's done under the circumstances, under the pressure of this fan base that is Leeds United, the weight of this shirt, the weight of this badge? He's done some job, hasn't he?
Unbelievable. I'll be man enough to hold my hands up when I threw my toys at the pram and we drew it at Luke, and I thought, right,
yeah, I think we all did.
I didn't want to. Honestly, I thought, get rid of him. But what do I know? Shows that he knows more about football than me, and he's just 97 points, lads. 97, and he's probably going to be 100 points as well. And you're looking at it and you're thinking, Burnley could even match us, and they're not even going to win a league. So if you think about it, you're finishing second with 100 points. You're thinking there's not much more we could do here, is there? But, I mean, Daniel Farke, listen, I've been a critic of him for quite a lot of the season, but praise where praise is due and where it's needed, and literally he's six. How many was it? 10 goals now in the last 2 home games.
10 goals last 2 games.
Just, like, you can't. And the football we're playing as well, lads.
And it could have been more tonight, lads. Again, that could have been another 6 or 7 tonight as well. Like.
It's not boring stuff. It's literally quick, fast football. They're finding spaces, they're finding the gaps, and literally it's just unbelievable. It is.
This is something that we have been doing though throughout the season. It's just kind of like he puts the shackles on them, doesn't let people go. They're going to end down. There was something that you said previously in videos. Daniel Farke is a very stubborn man. But lads, throughout this whole season, never once did I turn out and say, get him out, or badmouth him, or any way, shape or form. Do you know why?
Look, what manager isn't? What manager isn't stubborn though? Remember Bielsa? Bielsa was probably the most stubborn manager we had.
Darren, like you have, like, I'm not going to name any names, not just on here. Like, friends of mine, people have talked about Leeds. When they're saying that he wasn't the man for the job. Who was the man for the job? You go back to like before Bielsa. Look at all them names. What have they done? 16 years, lads. It was a long time.
Let us know what he says. Let us know what he says, Ken. If you can, please, buddy, that'd be appreciated. Go ahead, Delos.
And And, then Daniel Fark steps in and basically rights the wrongs. Took 2 seasons for Bielsa, it took 2 for Fark. And by the looks of it, the statistics kind of add up. Fark has the better upper hand. I'm not saying he's a better manager, but I'm saying he done it with style and he done it with a bit more, there's a bit more of reassurance now going into the Premier League. I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
But
100%.
at the end of the day, for people that did say get him out, I just don't understand why. Like, I'm not saying, you're all wrong, we're up. What I'm trying to say is about previous managers and the shit show that we had to what we are now. We were a mid-table championship club, scraping week in, week out, and now we're hitting the heights that we should be hitting, or what we expect to be hitting. So, onwards and upwards, lads, definitely.
Yeah, love it what Luke B says here. So Joe Donoghue has tweeted, Fark said, don't believe everything you read in the papers, which is right, lads. And Luke, you said, didn't you touch on it? That's 187 points
That's
Leeds have
disgusting
got
behaviour.
in 2 seasons. And we always bang on about football's results based. It's all about results. It's all about results. He gets results.
Yeah.
Or sometimes at the football, it can be a little bit dry, it can be a little bit passive. He gets results, and at the end of the day, he gets the end goal. Came very, very close last year. And the same thing with Bielsa, didn't do it his first year, but came back and done it his second year. And I'm just going to hold my hands up here, lads. The 49ers cannot sack Daniel Farke. And I spoke to you about it, Jam. If we do let him go, I think it's a massive, massive disrespect to him. I think it puts a massive dampener on this promotion. I think it's very, very disrespectful towards the fan base as well. And I will just have a bad feeling around promotion. I genuinely do think he deserves a crack at it. If we get any manager in, I don't care who it is, any manager in the world, and they come in here for the first 10 games of this season and it doesn't go right and we end up having to sack him, we're always going to have that question mark. Yeah. Why didn't we stick with Daniel Fark? Why didn't we give Daniel Fark a fair crack at the whip? And just give him it, lads. If the first 10 games, look, if history repeats itself and he's not good enough for the Premier League, well, I'm fine. We gave him a shot. What have we got to lose? Give him the first 10 games. And if it's not great, then say, thanks very much, Daniel. He'll probably hold his hands up himself and go, lads, I can't make it at this level, and be good enough to walk away as well. But to change it now, after the way he's been for the last 2 seasons, the happiness he's brought to the fan base, brought the city back up, brought the club back up, to sack him now, for me, would just be tragic.
He'd walk into a
Absolutely
job
tragic.
in the morning. Any championship
job.
club would take him on straight in the morning now, because he's done it with Norwich, he's done it with Leeds, and yeah, I have to completely agree with you. I think for people to even to mention, to get rid of him, give him 10 games, give him 5 games, I don't know, but at the end of the day, he deserves a crack at it.
Yeah.
If the board back him and give him the players that we need, and we're seeing some serious signings and money being spent, then we can all turn around and go, right here, he has really got no excuses. Yeah, and we'll have to wait and see when the summer comes in, to when the window closes, to when the season starts. But till now, we're on the verge. We're going to be champions. We're going to win a cup, and this shouldn't be even be talked about. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. Yeah. Leeds United are back in the Premier League because of Daniel Fark and the players and the board. So why are we even discussing the possibility of being sacked? And I'm not coming from you, Dara. I just mean in a, just the negative kind of aspect of it from the newspapers or social media. Do you know that kind of way? I don't understand it at all. I really don't.
Look what Michael says here. Fark sorted out that absolute mess. Yeah. And I don't think anybody would have done a job as what Daniel Fark done last season when he came in, and how he handled himself, and the board have said that themselves. But I was speaking to a Leeds fan myself today, lads, right? And here's one for you, and ask yourself this in the chat, and use 2 boys as well, right? So he's one of them that wants Fark out. He's one of them said that he's not going to do it in the Premier League. Look at his history. Look at his track record there. Look what he's done with Norwich. He's not good enough for the Premier League. So he kind of held me hand up and said, right, let's be reserved. Fine, fair enough. So we got a little bit of talk, and I went around about way, right, and 2 or 3 questions later, I said, what would you do with Firpo next season? Would you sign Firpo? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, Firpo deserves a contract. He's been brilliant this season. So I said, on what basis is the Premier League? Is he going to do well in the Premier League? Because the last time we seen him in the Premier League, he was bad, just like Fark was.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference from Firpo getting a contract and the difference from Daniel Fark staying on? So it can't be one rule for one person, one rule for another. Do you know what I mean? It can't be double standard. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if he's turning around saying he wants Firpo to sign a contract, well, then surely Daniel Fark deserves a crack at the Premier League as well. Everyone deserves a second crack at the whip. So it just shows you what some people do think as well. Like, and it is just all depends on liking a person, Jam. But I'll pass it over to you, Jam, and let you kind of have your say on Daniel Fark as well. Like, what more can the man do? Like, really, what can he do?
Well, nothing. I listened to I think he did like a pre-match interview about the Bristol game, and he went on a bit of a 10-minute, not rant, but sort of 10-minute discussion about his time at Norwich and the Prem, and what basically the money he had, and he said literally they were on hide into nothing. They had they had a team of youngsters. I think they had Ben Gibson and Grant Hanley centre backs. I mean,
He signed Sam Boyram. I think Sam Boyram. Sorry for cutting across you, Jam. Just to help with your comment here. They signed Sam Boyram as well for 700,000. That was one of their highest paid signings at the time as well.
Yeah. So literally, like we're talking about, he hasn't been backed, lads. The two times he's been with Norwich, I think the most once I might be wrong. Yeah, I think it might even. I don't even think it was 20-30 million, if I'm being honest, which is ridiculous in the Prem. And I think the players he brought in, they were nowhere near it. You know, as in like so you know. We all say about Bielsa turning water to wine, but I mean, there's only so much you can do. Farker can't do all of it on his own. He needs help. These managers need help, and I guarantee you something. If whatever you can hire whatever manager you want in the world, but with this squad, if there's no invested in, they'll still struggle next season. I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
so
100%.
That's my sort of back in. Listen, I people may say, "Oh, Jamie, I seen you on a video the other week, and I was depressed," but this is what life is as a Leeds fan and a fan in general. Like I can't. This is just me being raw with it. I just can't. You can't be sacked. He has to be given a chance. Let's back him. And I'm glad the fans. Because I haven't seen it, but I'm glad the fans have backed him tonight because it shows to the 49ers they're all there as well, thinking, "Oh, the fans are loving him." So it'd be suicide if you're asking me to sack him now, because then the whole dynamic just goes down, then doesn't it? The feel of the club. So,
and he knows what these players are capable as well. What's in here, whatever core or the squad that he tries to keep here as well, whatever improvement that he needs in the squad, he clearly has a plan ahead because he spoke about it in his previous press conference, what he thinks we need, and he spoke to Parag about the players we need to bring in. So Fark knows and already has planned ahead what he needs. So if a new manager comes in, he has to look at these players again. He's not too sure, right? Is he ready for Premier League? Is he not? Fark knows these players. So why not? What have we got to lose? It's going to be a struggle next season anyway, no matter what manager we bring in. So my feeling is give him a crack, like what Sean Healy said there. 10, 12 games, and if it's not good enough, I'm sure Daniel Farke will be the first man to turn around and go, "Lads, yeah, it's not working, I'm not up to it," and hold his hands up, and we'll probably thank him and say, "Look, thanks very much for all your efforts, it's time to go." I just think the opposite side of it. I just want to get your thoughts on the lads and yours in the chat as well. If we do go down the route of sacking Daniel Farke and we bring in any other manager, what happens if it does go belly up after 10 games? What sort of place is the club in? Then we're going back into that whole spiral of Jesse Marsh or sacking the manager. You've all the questions. Should we have stuck with Farke, similar to like Bielsa? Should we have stuck with Bielsa? You've all these questions, and then all this uncertainty comes back to the football club, where it feels for the first time now we've good owners, a good manager, a stadium development on the way. So why ruin it? Stick with it, and if anything goes astray, wait till something goes astray.
Apart from getting promoted to the Premier League, like from last season, lads, you have to remember the shit show that Fark did come into with the contracts, with players just wanting to leave. He had to deal with all that. So like, not only did we all get a kind of a pat on the back off him, but like we didn't need to give him a pat on the back now. Like as I said, he did come into a pure shit show. Everything was belly up. We didn't know what we were going to be like. Angus Kinnear went on to the square ball, said it was going to be, what, a 2-year plan, was it? Or a 3-year plan? Yeah. We're on the second year, we're going up. So the only thing that, like, the positives you could kind of take from it is that we didn't get anyone in January. And, like, obviously now I'm delighted, but at the time I wasn't. I was really annoyed. But now there's that. We can get these players that we were looking at in January going into the Premier League. You still have, obviously, like Jack Harrison, I'd say, would more likely will be sold. There's a few players along the line that will be sold as well. So we just need to heavily invest in players in the summer. And as Darren said there, I think Fark be well out of his game. I think he has that all sussed out. The likes of Fairbaugh and all, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I probably would give him a contract, but I wouldn't be solely reliant on each individual on the team right now, if it makes sense, because I think that's something that we done the last time. And yeah, look, first season was great, we finished 9th, but we didn't invest again, and we can't be too morally invested on players that clearly see
we know the squad
quality,
the squad needs improvement. We know that 100% it does. Easy says here the 49ers got Fark in for his championship achievements, not his Premier League failures. Well, Easy, I'd say go back and listen to the interview of Parag first day when he took over the club, and he spoke about backing Daniel Fark in the Premier League, that he didn't get backed in Norwich, and when we get there that they will back him. So they clearly had got a plan for back in Dino Park when we get to the Premier League. Would need someone amazing to justify it. I think we know that Klopp isn't going to, not a chance. Klopp is not going to come anywhere near Leeds United. He's happy enough in his place in Red Bull. That's the only other way, lads, and I'm sure put it to you. If there's going to be an unbelievable manager out there that you literally cannot say no to, and I'm not talking Jose Mourinho, a manager you literally cannot turn down, well, that's the only reason why you do it. But for some of the managers that have been spouted today, the three, particularly, the likes of your Van Bronckhorst, Angelotti and Smith that's been in there, I wouldn't be taking any of them over Fark. Not a chance in the world, Jan, would you?
That's the first I've heard it. Did you say Van Bronckhorst?
Yeah, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. That was at Rangers. Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's the first. I don't know. I've been on Mars, I think, because I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I read today. Yeah.
Come on, man. This is the thing. It's all about the glamour name, isn't it? And look at, again, this is probably a really bad example, but look at Wayne Rooney, lads.
Yeah.
These clubs have thought, oh yeah, he was a great player. He's a terrible manager. It doesn't necessarily mean a great manager. That these people are going to be. Let's just stick with him. Let's just please just stick with him and let's back him. Let's just do what we can.
I think we will, lads.
We have to. I think,
And I think we will, lads. If it is after 5, 10, 12 games next season, whatever it is, and the three of us are all sitting in the Premier League, we probably will turn around, hold hands up and go, yeah, look, we're happy we gave him a shot in the Premier League. It's probably time to move him on. But I think right now, where we're at the minute, it's crazy. Right, let's move away from the Daniel Farke talk, lads, because I think we could go on and go on and go on for the whole season. Jan, we want to come across to you then. Obviously, we've seen the championship team of the season. This kind of leads on to my question. We know Bogle, Tanaka and James made it absolutely unbelievable. But let's touch on Joe Pirro a little bit. 19 goals this season. Looks like he's gonna go on and win the Golden Boot. We kind of at the start of the season, we had that ebb and flow of Matteo Joseph, Pirro. Pirro eventually looks like the striker that we brought in last season to replace Patrick Bamford. What have you thought of his season and how good has he been the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, at the end of the day, you signed to score goals. And that's exactly what he's done. And I honestly, lads, I think it's probably biased. I think it's absolutely criminal how he's not in a team this season. I honestly don't. I really don't get it. Yeah. And call me biased, but I also think, coming off the question a little bit, I also think Solomon should be in there instead of that signs. But again, just because he got the numbers, I think it's a bit of a lazy sort of thing, to be honest, picking players that have got high numbers, which is understandable. But if you look at it, if you look at it as a season, I mean, listen, my opinion's changed a lot of Pirro. I'm sort of starting to think now, can he do a job in the Premier League? Not as a starter, but I would say probably, someone to bring off the bench. I think he's a great option, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you hear all these stories like, oh yeah, we should be selling this player and that player. We need a squad as well. We can't just go out and sell all these players, So I've gone way off topic, but Pirro, I mean, listen, his link-up player, I was really impressed with that second goal. I've said it. That second. If De Bruyne was playing it, lads, it'd be all over Sky Sports News, and they'd have the bunt tonight. They'd be popping all the balloons out for him, and just singing his praises. And just because it's Joel Pirro, and just because he plays at Leeds United, it's going to be something that is. But they were all great tonight. They were all good. But Pirro, I like the way he's dropping into that number 10 position. And I'll be honest, I didn't think he could play in that position. But it shows again that Farker's seen something in him in training or whatever, and he drops back, carries the ball. That's one thing I was really impressed with tonight, was us finding the spaces, cutting the lines through with the passes that we did. I think even Brendan Aronson was brilliant tonight, lads. And I haven't been his biggest fan this season, but credit where credit's due. So in a long sort of answer there to your question, I just think how is he not in there? Please just tell me someone how Pirro's not in there.
Has to be in there. The sergeant for me. Has to be. But look at you said. We'll just go win the title and you can kind of stick your team of the season. Easy says here, Pirro is a Viduka type player, will score goals in the Premier League. So will Nonto, Ramazani, and DJ. And I do agree with that. And some people probably think I'm mad. And I did speak about it on work as well with a couple of Scum fans and Arsenal fans, and that. He spoke about Pirro and Leeds' need for a striker, and I kind of said, yeah, I probably agree with you, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Joe Pirro to see what he can do in the Premier League, because he's a technical player. The Premier League is more technical than it is physical, not like the Championship. So it'd be interesting to see. Not saying he is going to do anything, but maybe he might do something. He might surprise us there. So I agree with you there, Jam. But let's move on to Ramazani, lads. We have to speak about him, because obviously the last couple of weeks he's had a bit of a mad season, Ramazani, because at the start of the season, remember Cardiff away, he was sensational. He got injured against Watford then, didn't really come back and be the same player, and then we eventually see him completely fall out of the squad, and Smith coming on then ahead of him then. But today he came on, Dylan, and he was class, wasn't he? His 2 goals were sensational, particularly that second, and then the celebration to match. We're still waiting on your backflip.
See, here we go. As soon as I seen his number come up on the board, I literally said to him, I'd love to see him score. Like in my head, like I didn't bet on it or anything like that. I just said I'd love to see Ramzani score, and he did too. But wow, like some way to just come onto the pitch and just make an impact straight off the bat. And Cameron went straight to Fark, and he kind of just smirked, like a smile, like in a sense, why are you just starting this man? But yeah, what a goal! What a goal! You could see if you watch it in slow motion, Firpo, when he goes up the line, you can see Ramzani pointing. And to be honest with you, I didn't think he'd get it there in time, and he did. And what a finish! What a ball from Firpo, and what a finish! And then the second one, lads, the touch that he did, like the ball initially obviously played over the top, but the touch to take it down, and this is something that Ramzani's very good at. Not just his touch, it's kind of the angles that he does take a shot. They always go into the corner every time. He done it against. I can't remember. He done it against someone anyway. He kind of went back on himself and went into the corner.
Wednesday, I think it was it? Sheffield Wednesday.
But lads, the quality's there. His ceiling is so high. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted that he got to come on. He got the 2 goals, and I'm actually really, really looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League and what he can offer.
Yeah, me too. Because I think his ceiling is high as well. Then I agree with you 100%. But I think like a lot of this team jam as well. Okay, we know what's ahead of us. We know it's going to be a tough summer. We know it's going to be a busy summer, and we probably have to get every single decision bang on the money to have any chance of surviving in the Premier League the way it's going. And the gap between the bottom half of the Premier League and the Championship now seems to be getting bigger. With 2 years in a row, all 3 promoted sides come up back down. If I gave you the football club and it's in your hands at the minute, what's the first signing you make? What do you do? What's imperative for Leeds United to do?
Well, we'd be in debt probably if you give me the club.
You'd piss it all up.
I'd be signing all these players. I'd be giving backhanders and everything.
Yeah, me up front trying to do a backflip.
Jamie Ridsdale over here had a load of goldfish and all around.
It worked a goldfish ball.
You'd have me up front telling me, Dillo, do a backflip there, will you?
That's left wing. First player. I would say goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And I would probably look at, I think his name's been touted, but I think is it Sam Johnston?
Yeah.
Well, I know he's not getting a game, but whenever I've seen him play against us, he's always been a solid keeper and thing. But also another keeper I like is the one that's just been, is it Hermanson, Leicester's keeper?
Yeah,
Hermanson's there. I know Jake likes Keller. Jake loves Keller. How he's been saying it to me.
I think it's probably a little bit outside our reach, though, lads. Isn't it? Look, we can dream. I think he'd be sensational, and not just being biased because he's Irish as well. But yeah, I've seen him for the Irish team. He's a very, very high ceiling name, Keller.
And I tell you, who you both will love me for saying this. Who I'd actually love as a striker is Evan. Is it Evan Ferguson?
Yeah.
Now that would be someone I'd be looking.
Do you know what blows my mind, Jam? When I spoke about this, and I got a couple of the replies in the comments saying, some people saying, "No, I wouldn't have." What? Like, if you're not taking Evan Ferguson in the Premier League, even as part of your squad, lads, give your head a wobble, lads. Because
if we can get him like what he was like under De Zerbi for a bit, 'cause he was banging goals in. Yeah. If we can get him anywhere near that, we got a player on our hands, I think. But again, that's just.
Yeah, class. Dylan, what about you? What do you think Leeds United need to do? What's probably the one thing that needs to... And in the chat, guys, want to know everyone's opinion as well. What's the one thing you're kind of fearful of? What's imperative that Leeds United to do? The first thing, if you were chairman, you were the owner, what's the first thing you try and sort out going up to the Premier League?
What I will say straight away, it's not a race, so we need to walk it and not run it. So I wouldn't be going spending mad money. I suppose what is mad money these days? Because football, you just don't know.
Look at Tanaka, Dylan. Look what we got Tanaka for.
That's what I was getting at, Darren. I'm looking at it in more the lines of finding players like Tanaka for that kind of price. I'm not necessarily saying be a cheap kind of person, but what I am saying is, as Darren said, the 3 teams that did get promoted, did drop back down, and I don't want to be that. So at least we have some sort of, you could say, comfort money just to get us by, even if it was to January where we could probably invest again. I'm not saying do that. What I am saying is weigh up our options and see what route to go and who suits because there's a few players in this squad as well that definitely are Premier League material, but then on the other hand, there's loads that aren't. So yeah, I suppose, Darren, it's going to come down to the board at the end of the day. I don't think Fark really has the last say. I think you'll just tell them and they'll say yeah, and if the money's there sort of stuff. But yeah, if I was the chairman, I wouldn't be all guns blazing. I think that's probably the last thing I would do.
The only thing I would say, lads, is I agree. I think the keeper is definitely the first of all. Like I like Darlow, he's done a job these last couple of games, but we've obviously seen he hasn't really pushed Melier for the best parts of 18 months. So I don't
Definitely
think we can rely on him. So I definitely think,
definitely 10,
yeah, but I think imperative, like, I think the keeper is the main one. Like Melier for me, lads, are just. He can't do it in the Premier League. At times in the Championship, he hasn't done it for me. It's probably time to move him on. So the keeper is probably the most important one for me going forward. But probably even more than that, lads, with the 49ers, and it's one thing that probably gripes me, that the business, and Michael touched on it there, has been absolutely brilliant since they came in. You know, our transfer work, and even sometimes we might scratch our head like selling Kamara on, and we get Tanaka and we're like, what are we doing here? It's all kind of proven to be right. Now, whether that's down to good recruitment or the manager and Daniel Fark sorting it out, could be a combination of both. But there's one thing I don't want us to do, lads, is let it kind of roll on till the end of August, start of September, to try and get our business done then. I'd like the 49ers to do the opposite this time, to try and, get the signings in the door, get a balanced squad, get Daniel Fark, get them in and kind of get training geared up for the Premier League, get a good pre-season against us. Obviously, we play Scum out in Sweden, so I'd like a more kind of settled squad, by then. Look, it's not going to be entirely finished, but that would be my kind of play with the 49ers, is try and get the business done quick as possible, and kind of go from there. But look, it's exciting times, lads. I don't know about you. This is probably the most excited I've been about Leeds United in a long time, even back from the BL to days, lads. I don't know what it is about the football club. It just has that feeling of that we're safe, we're secure, the foundations have been there, with a decent manager. We've obviously all seen the Ellen Road expansion as well. What about you, Jam? It feels like for the first time Leeds United that we're on the right road.
Well, to be honest, like I said, I was probably just young enough just to remember us being in the Champions League with Duca, Bowyer, or all them players. But listen, it's exciting times. I literally, you're like a bottle of pop looking at the news. You get a notification through on your phone, and you see that Leeds have expanded, got stadium plans, and you're looking at them thinking, by the way, lads, the stadium looks fantastic. If that's what it's going to be looking like, but we got it all to look forward to. We got a stadium expansion. That's another selling point to these players. We can go to these players and look, we've got big plans for Leeds United. The club sells itself. Another thing, we all say other clubs like Leeds and our big club. We got 26,000 people waiting in the season ticket list, lads, for season tickets. 26,000. I mean, that's just incredible. Burnley haven't got that. Probably all Sheffield United haven't got that.
Haven't even got that many fans.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's the thing. So we got to get behind it. It's I think it's a juggernaut. It's gonna be hard to stop. It's like momentum now, isn't it? We've got a promotion. Look at the scenes tonight. We're all singing Farker's name. They're all singing for the fans. Like, honestly, the fans are just incredible. They are just unbelievable. Through thick and thin, we're always there, and it's just such a great ride. And this, if you reflect back on the season, what a season it's been. It
just seems like, Leeds are stepping out of this kind of, you could say, the issues that we've had the last how many years, and we're starting to kind of step into the real Leeds, if that makes sense. The new generation of Leeds United, with obviously the owners, and now with the expansion of Ellen Road, lads. It's unbelievable. Like history. This is pure history, and we're all just soaking in it. So I'm delighted. I'm absolutely chuffed. We're promoted to the Premier League. We're promoted. Do. We're promoted to the Premier League. Do. I can't get over that, lads. Honestly, I'm a loose cannon. It's unreal.
Yeah, well, no, it's just, that's what I'm saying, lad. It's the buzz now, lads. It's the buzz that's kind of got me around Leeds United again. We have Luke B saying here, thoughts on the stadium images, lads, by the way, before you finish. I think they're unbelievable, Luke. I really do. I've probably looked at them about 40 times today. I'll try and throw some of the images up here now. But Dillo, what about you? It's something that you've talked about for a while since we've gone over to Leeds, and especially last time when we were at the Stoke game in the West Stand, and we always kind of call it a time traveller, the West Stand, don't we? Because as soon as you walk through them turnstiles, you're back in the 70s, you've single glazed windows, flushing the toilet out of the ceiling and stuff like that, toys on the walls from the 80s. Like, it's just, it's needed, isn't it, for the football club?
Yeah, it's definitely needed. We're just going back to the turnstiles. Like, I know it's old and all, like, but they have no like sympathy at all for fat people, because like I have to suck right in trying to get in there. Like, you're trying to not to worry that it's going to jam first. You know what I mean? And then when you do get in, you're going to. But yeah, no. Look, it's deadly to see. But look, it's also sad as well, losing that kind of old 50s, 60s, 70s kind of vibe of the West Stand. But maybe it's something that we need to do, because Leeds, as I said, is going into this new generation now of, we want to be the best that we can be and at our ability. But Ellen Road will never change, to me anyway. It'll always be the same, even though with this expansion it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be louder than ever now, isn't it? Another 20-something thousand people, so which is crazy. So yeah, look, I love it. I absolutely love it. It will be sad, but at the end of the day, look, it's time for change. It's time to move on to the next chapter in Leeds.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you as well, Dylan. And like that I said, we're all geared eventually to be that club we've cried out for 15, 16 years, lads, and it feels like eventually for the first time we're actually getting there, and that's for me under the stewardship of the 49ers. I have an image here of Ellen Road, just been trying to upload it there, lads. Look, it's just, for me, lads.
Do you see me there, Jam? Look, do you see me? That's me there, look. Two.
Like, for me, lads, it just looks sensational, doesn't it? Like, it looks like a Premier League stadium and all. It still kind of has obviously the West Stand there, the whole feel of Ellen Road. Like, to me, it just
look at
looks
that
class.
It
Screams.
I really love that badge, lads. It's like a metallic sort of look, isn't it? Just out on the right of the.
Even like the little corner there, see, like at the South Stand there, that's obviously like the back of the South Stand as well, like that little corner there as well that they've covered over, so we'll get a small bit of the South Stand as well being redeveloped as well. But it's just a way of pushing the club forward there as well, lads. And if any of you haven't noticed,
there, lads, I think
you can see us there.
Yeah, going binoculars out now, just looking.
But if you have a small little look there into the scoreboard there, if you just have a look there what the scoreboard says, if anyone can read it out. Leeds United 6, Stoke 0. Nice little dig at Stoke City there for that. So yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was something you were doing. I thought you put scum up there.
No. I only noticed when I was going through the whole lot again, and I just noticed that it was Leeds United 6, Stoke 0. I thought it was class. Yeah, like really good.
That's brilliant.
It's a palace. That's it. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be calling it. Yeah, love it from the editors. Yeah, just class in the football club. But lads, look, that's it for the match reaction. Unbelievable. A very emotional match reaction. We've only got one more left to go. I better get myself off the bed because I'm flying out to Spain in the morning. I'm going to be in Spain for the last game of the season. I'm going to be spending it with the Malaga Whites, so hopefully get a bit of content for you guys and celebrating the promotion, running up and down a beach in Malaga. You will be in work. But lads, enjoy it. Look, on Saturday we could be the champions of the championship. It's what we've all wanted. So enjoy being a Leeds fan. Enjoy Saturday. Enjoy all the celebrations. Jam, any final words for the peoples?
Just a little. Leeds are going up.
Leeds are going up. Leeds are going up. Leeds are going up.
Dave says all Leeds, and we'll get through the last couple of the comments and say goodnight to you guys. Great content, big up. Thanks very much, Dave. I appreciate it, buddy. And thank you, great stream, guys. Appreciate it. Jamie, love that. Love Jamie Dodgers as well. Big up you three, all the best. You too, Luke, buddy. Have a good night. Enjoy the Hollier, said Michael. Thanks very much, Michael. I will indeed, buddy. And our good old pal Shane said he'll be in the Camden. Enjoy, pal. Have a great time and have a good celebration. Buddy.
We're going to the Camden.
Get into the Camden if you are an Irish white lads. Get over to the Camden. It's the only place to be on Saturday. I believe 500 tickets have been sold. 500 Leeds fans in one pub. Sensational. If you're there, or if you don't even have to be Irish, just get into the Camden. You can walk straight in, but make sure you get there, lads. Unbelievable atmosphere. It's the only place to be if you're not going to be in Ellen Road or in Malaga like me. So that's it from Only Leeds Bros, lads. Thanks very much. Don't forget to slap a like on the video, hit subscribe to the channel, and we'll chat you all again very soon. So mind yourselves, mind each other. it.